This is Colony Outpost Echo 7, calling Earth Central Command for status update and mission continuity. Broadcasting on all emergency frequencies. Timestamp transmission 723 UTC, solar cycle 188. Earth, do you copy? No response logged. Initiating standard report. Colony infrastructure remains at 94% operational efficiency. Power cores stable. Atmospheric regulators within safe margins. No anomalies detected in external environment. Solar flare activity nominal. Civilian population count 1,282 personnel. No incidents, no missing persons. Food and water rations at 79% capacity. Projected depletion rate 1.6% per cycle. Oxygen generation systems green status. Internal pressure remains steady at 14.7 psi. No signs of contamination. Engineering team reports successful repair of Habitat Module 3 following the minor decompression event in the eastern quadrant. No casualties. Scientific personnel continue data collection regarding planetary surface anomalies. Standard report complete. Awaiting response from Earth Central Command. Earth, please confirm receipt of transmission. This is Colony Outpost Echo 7. Please confirm receipt. Still no response. I'll mark this down as a delayed transmission. Nothing unusual. Solar flares sometimes interfere with long-range comms. This isn't the first time we've had to wait for a reply. However, I am logging this as the third consecutive failed response from Earth Central Command. We have yet to receive confirmation from Mission Control since Solar Cycle 185. That's approximately 3 Earth days without a reply. This is unusual. Our standard delay window is no longer than 36 hours, accounting for planetary alignment and deep space interference. Still, there is no cause for concern at this time. Outpost remains fully operational. Colony systems are green across the board. All personnel accounted for. I will proceed with standard protocol, broadcasting on emergency frequencies at 30-minute intervals until contact is re-established. End log. Earth, if you're receiving this, respond. This is Colony Outpost Echo 7, calling Earth Central Command, broadcasting on emergency frequencies. Timestamp transmission 753 UTC, solar cycle 188. Still no response from Earth. I'm not going to speculate yet, but it's worth noting that even during previous solar interference events, we still received some data packets, fragmented replies, auto responses, residual pings from deep space relay stations. Right now, we have nothing. No partial signals, no static bursts, no automated acknowledgements, just silence. I've instructed the engineering division to triple check long-range antenna arrays for possible failures. Our systems are showing full transmission power, so it's unlikely the problem is on our end. That means the fault lies somewhere between us and Earth. Let's run some possible explanations. 1. A major solar event. Unlikely. There have been no recorded flare surges beyond normal range. Our satellites would have detected significant electromagnetic disturbances. 2. Relay station failures between Colony and Earth. Possible, but improbable. We have multiple redundancies. A single failure wouldn't cut off all transmissions. There would still be partial signals. 3. Earth has intentionally ceased contact. I hesitate to even suggest this. But if it were a deliberate communications blackout, we should at least receive a denial ping or frequency redirection signal. We're getting nothing. Here's the reality if we don't hear anything from Earth soon. We may have to consider the possibility that something has gone wrong, not just with our systems, not just with the relay stations, but with Earth itself. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. For now, we'll continue as planned. No immediate changes to colony operations, but until we re-establish contact, I am elevating this situation to a Category 2 communication disruption. If you're out there, if anyone is listening, please confirm receipt. This is Colony Outpost Echo 7, broadcasting on all emergency channels. Earth, please respond. This is Colony Outpost Echo 7, broadcasting on all emergency frequencies. Timestamp transmission 8:23 UTC, solar cycle 188. Status update is still no contact from Earth. We've now passed the 4th consecutive failed response window. As per protocol, we have initiated Phase 1 diagnostics. Let's go over the results. The colony transmission array is fully operational. No damage, no interference. We are broadcasting at full signal strength. Relay station pings, no acknowledgement from any Earth-based station. No signals received from Lunar Base, Nova, Mars Relay, or any orbital satellites. Local comms internal communications remain fully functional. Conclusion: the fault isn't here. Earth isn't just failing to respond. Earth isn't transmitting at all. We've attempted direct signal pings to major hubs. NASA Deep Space Network, ESA Operations Center, Russian Orbital Command. Nothing. Here's where it gets odd. Even in the event of a global emergency, standard protocol dictates that automated distress beacons remain active. These require no human input. They're designed to transmit indefinitely in the event of total infrastructure collapse. If something catastrophic happened, we should still be receiving automated emergency pings. We aren't, which raises an uncomfortable question. Did something happen to Earth's communication systems? Or did something happen to Earth itself? We have begun gathering additional data. First priority, external planetary scans. If Earth systems are down, we should still be able to observe orbital satellites, radio signatures, or even basic planetary weather patterns. As of now, we have detected no unusual atmospheric disturbances, no visible nuclear detonations, no evidence of solar storms, no debris fields in orbit. On the surface, Earth looks normal, but it's too normal. You see, even in a power grid failure, we should be picking up some signs of human activity, air traffic, thermal signatures, electrical currents. Something. Right now, our long-range scanners are detecting almost nothing. It's as if the entire planet has gone dark, which is unlikely. No, that's the wrong word. It's impossible. The Astrophysics Division is running secondary scans. We'll have results soon. In the meantime, I am formally escalating this to a Category 3 anomalous silence event. Colony operations remain stable. No impact on daily routines. For now, we wait and we keep listening. Earth, if you're out there, respond. This is Colony Outpost Echo 7, broadcasting on all emergency frequencies. Time, stamp transmission 917 UTC, solar cycle 188. We have received a signal, not from Earth, not from anywhere we can identify. I'll walk you through it. At 8:56 UTC, our long-range deep space scanner picked up a transmission fragment, weak, heavily distorted, buried in cosmic background radiation. At first, we assumed it was a standard pulsar echo, a false positive from a distant neutron star. But after isolating the waveform, we realized this was something else entirely. The signal contains structure. It's artificial. Someone or something is transmitting. And here's the part that doesn't make sense. It's coming from beyond the edge of the solar system. The signal is broadcasting at 1420 MHz. For those unfamiliar, 1420 MHz is the hydrogen line frequency, a universal constant used in deep space communication theories. It's a frequency that doesn't occur naturally. Whoever sent this knows we'd be listening. But that's not the only anomaly. The signal contains fragments of human transmissions, not just radio static, voices, snippets of old broadcasts, some in English, some in Russian, some in languages we haven't identified. It's as if something is replaying us back to ourselves. We're currently running decryption algorithms to reconstruct the full message. But here's the most disturbing part. The timestamp on one of the voice fragments, it's from 1977, and it's a near-perfect match for the Voyager 1 golden record. Voyager 1 left our solar system over 50 years ago. The golden record was meant to be a message for any potential extraterrestrial intelligence, a greeting from Earth. So why is it coming back to us? And why now? We are preparing a response transmission. Standard procedure dictates that we do not engage until we have full decryption. But given the circumstances, given the silence from Earth, we don't have the luxury of caution. If this signal is somehow connected to what's happening, if there is even a chance that someone out there knows something we don't, we have to respond. I will update once the transmission is sent. This is Echo 7 signing off. Earth, if you're out there, we're still listening. This is Colony Outpost Echo 7 broadcasting on all emergency frequencies. Timestamp transmission 10:30 UTC, solar cycle 188. As of 9:58 UTC, we have sent a response transmission. Our message was simple. A basic binary sequence, prime numbers, hydrogen frequency markers, and a standard terrestrial greeting. No complex language, no unnecessary risk. And now we wait. We don't know how far the signal's origin is. We don't even know if we're sending this to something living. But the protocol is clear. If there is a chance of intelligence, we acknowledge. We've picked up a second anomaly. This isn't just a response delay, it's something else. At 10:12 UTC, our system registered a shift in the original signal. The waveform changed. The structure isn't the same as before, it's almost effort adjusted, adapted. We're currently analyzing the new transmission data. But here's the most important detail. The new signal contains coordinates, not just random points. These coordinates map directly to Earth. That doesn't make sense, because they aren't just pointing at Earth in general. They're pointing at a specific location. A location that shouldn't be possible. The coordinates point to the Pacific Ocean, a location roughly 2,500 kilometers west of Chile. There's nothing there. At least nothing that should be transmitting. But here's where it gets stranger. The coordinates, they don't just match any random point in the ocean. They match the last known location of Voyager 1. Not in space. Not beyond the solar system, right there in the middle of the ocean, as if it had never left. I don't know what this means, but we're going to find out. This is Colony Outpost Echo 7, broadcasting on all emergency frequencies. Timestamp transmission 11:15 UTC, solar cycle 188. We've isolated a third layer in the transmission. The signal isn't just changing, it's responding in real time. And that's not the worst part. The waveform has embedded data that shouldn't be there. We ran a secondary analysis, stripping the outer noise layers. What's left is something we don't have a protocol for. We thought it was random distortion, but we were wrong, because at 11:09 UTC, we detected something embedded deep in the signal's structure, a human voice, a recorded transmission buried inside the frequency.
Is anyone receiving this?
We don't know where the voice came from. We don't know who it belongs to, but it's old, too old. It matches a voice transmission from 1977. 1977, the year Voyager 1 was launched.
Is anyone receiving this?
This is no longer a theoretical anomaly. This is something else. Someone or something is using a 47-year-old human voice transmission to communicate, and it's using Voyager 1's last known Earth coordinates to do it. But Voyager 1 isn't on Earth. It's more than 15 billion miles away. The question isn't whether we're receiving a signal. The question is, who sent it back? This is Colony Outpost Echo 7 broadcasting on all emergency frequencies. Timestamp transmission 1150 UTC, solar cycle 188. We made contact. We sent a direct transmission into the anomaly. We didn't expect a response, but we got one. And it was instant.
This is Voyager 1. 48209.
We analyzed the numbers. We ran them against every known data sequence. They don't match anything. Not coordinates. Not frequencies. Not any known astronomical markers. But we found a pattern. Return
home.
We didn't send that message. We didn't send anything about returning. But the signal knows. It knows about Earth. It knows about Voyager. It knows we're listening. And the more we respond, the more it adapts. We have two working theories. Theory 1, this is an intercepted signal, some kind of interstellar echo of Voyager 1's original broadcast, warped by time and distance. Theory 2, something received Voyager 1's messages, and now it's sending something back. This is no longer an anomaly. This is communication. The only question left is, are we answering something that was meant for us? Or are we answering something that was never supposed to be heard? This is Colony Outpost Echo 7 broadcasting on all emergency frequencies. Timestamp transmission 12:1 UTC, solar cycle 188. We sent another message. We didn't expect a second response, but we got one. And this time the voice changed.
Voyager lost returning home.
The team ran a full analysis. That wasn't a human voice. It wasn't even an artificial recording. There's no digital imprint, no sign of synthesized speech. The voice is something else. Something trying to mimic us. And the frequency. It's outside of the normal communication spectrum. It's shifting, drifting, like it's searching for something. Like it's listening as much as it's speaking. The anomaly isn't just broadcasting, it's evolving.
Listened. Lost being B2 too long.
We're not the only ones who picked up on the shift. Command has issued a level 3 alert. All research teams are ordered to cease direct transmission. Effective immediately, we are now on one-way monitoring only. They're afraid that whatever is out there knows we're listening, and worse, it's trying to communicate. But we asked a question. We don't know if we want the answer. This is Colony Outpost Echo 7 broadcasting on all emergency frequencies. Timestamp transmission 13 UTC, solar cycle 188. We decrypted the signal. We shouldn't have. For the past 3 hours, the research team has been running frequency diagnostics. The anomaly's primary transmission was the only thing we could hear at first. The distorted voice. the shifting tones. But buried beneath it, hidden in the white noise, was something else. A second transmission. Encoded, compressed, and when we decrypted it, it wasn't a message. A heartbeat. The pattern wasn't an error, it was biometric, a replication of a living rhythm. And that's not the worst part. The data was compared against our medical logs. The heart rate pattern, it's a match. It's the same rhythm as an Earth-born human.
You left us. It has been too long. Echo 7 emergency, this is a secure channel. Requesting response, solar cycle 1880 of. We are still here.
The signal is adapting its learning, and whatever it is, it remembers us. We were never alone out here. The only question is, what did we leave behind? This is Colony Outpost Echo 7 broadcasting on all emergency frequencies. Timestamp transmission 14 UTC, solar cycle 188. We found something we were never meant to see. The research team accessed classified records from the colony archives. There was a mission, one wiped from the official logs. No public records. No official reports. It was an expedition sent beyond the known systems. It never came back, and according to this, we never went looking.
This is mission log Lodger 37A. The date is solar cycle 122 Davri. This transmission is classified. System uncharted. Anomalous readings. Something is here. We are not alone.
The expedition's last recorded transmission was 66 years ago, but the signal we intercepted, the one broadcasting now, it carries their exact frequency signature. It means one of two things. Either someone stole their signal, or the mission, the crew. They're still out there.
Echo 7, do you hear us? It's been so long.
The crew. If it is them, they should be dead, but they're transmitting on a live channel. A signal that shouldn't exist. This wasn't a rescue mission, it was a cover-up. This is Colony Outpost Echo 7, transmitting on all emergency frequencies. Timestamp transmission 15 UTC, solar cycle 188. We have decoded the final transmission from the missing expedition. And if you are receiving this, you need to hear it. Playback initiated.
Mission log Yo Sergeant 37, this is Commander EAS Voss, acting captain of the Polaris expedition. Final entry. We've seen things we weren't meant to find. This place, this system, it isn't empty. It never was. The others, they're hearing it now too. Not just in comms, not just in dreams. It's inside. Tell them we tried. Tell them not to send anyone else.
That was the last transmission of the Polaris expedition. It was never meant to reach us. The problem is, it wasn't the last message we received. But before we go any further, if you're still listening, if you're still out there, I need to know, do you want to hear the rest? This is Colony Outpost Echo 7, transmitting on all emergency frequencies. Timestamp transmission 1630 UTC, solar cycle 188. We played the final message, we logged it, we archived it. We did everything protocol tells us to do. And then we received a response. Initiating recovered transmission or 37B.
Mission log ZO37BR. We didn't hear it all. I need to correct the record. We were looking too far. It isn't out there. It's speaking through me.
We analyzed the transmission, ran it through every filter, every decryption algorithm, every fail-safe protocol. We never should have heard that message, because it wasn't on our frequency. It was coming from the surface, not the ship, not the crew, the planet. I need you to understand this. EAS Voss was already gone when that message was sent. He couldn't have made that recording, but something else did. This is Colony Outpost Echo 7, final transmission. Timestamp transmission 17 UTC, solar cycle 188. We have reached a decision. We are sending a final message. We have received 14 unauthorized transmissions since our last report. Timestamps do not match the ship's logs. Some of them air variations of existing messages. Some are entirely new, but all of them contain the same anomaly. We debated whether to send a response. We debated whether we should even be listening. But in the end, curiosity won. This is Colony Outpost Echo 7. We acknowledge the received transmissions. If you are receiving this, we request identification. We request coordinates. We request confirmation of life.
You shouldn't have answered. We are already here.